party begin.
Your healthy radio addiction starts now.
Hollywood's Motorcycle Madhouse on iHeartRadio.
And welcome everyone to the show. I hope you had a great weekend this weekend. I sure the hell did. Was out at the 35th annual motorcycle show and swap meet over in St. Charles, over at the Pheasant Run Resort. Got to see a lot of great old friends, and want to give a special shout out to the AOA North Side and the West Side. You guys freaking rock. Always awesome to see y'all. Now, today, we got a couple things that we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about this new gun law where it gives the right to anybody to report somebody because they feel that they are, how can you put it? A threat to their safety, and they just go over there, grab your guns, and then you got to go through all the court proceedings, all that BS. We actually got an interview with somebody that this has happened to. But first, as you can see in the right-hand corner, we got a new official Motorcycle Madhouse merchandise store. You can get all the books that I've done, the t-shirts, the whole 9 yards over there. Order personalized signed copies of New Age of Biking and Brotherhood, and you can get that new t-shirt that's been selling like hotcakes. And website is HarleyBikerNews.com. And it's see y'all in that chat room right now. Hey, everybody over on Facebook, how are you doing? It's awesome to see you guys joining the stream, as well as our YouTube people and the other streams, as well as Periscope, iHeartRadio, and everybody else. Got to make sure I give you guys a shout out, or I get the letters or the emails, because I'm an old guy, I use letters, but the emails complaining, hey, you never give us a shout out. But we also got an awesome series that I'm going to be starting. It's called Harley Undercover, and I ordered one of them little spy cameras. We're going to put it on the thing and walk in there, give reviews on dealerships, and we're going to try to answer the question, why Harley Davidson's having such a hard time making motorcycle sales. And this is going to help, I think, so that's going to be fun. But first off, let's talk I'm going to show you a video, give you a little bit on this law, and then we'll go to our interview. So here we go.
Officers were called to 103 Glenwood Avenue to serve an emergency relief protective order. These are the new protective orders we talked about that came into effect in October 1st of this year. When officers knocked on the door, the respondent or suspect answered the door with a gun. A fight ensued over the gun. That gun went off. It did not strike anybody. Officers fired back at the suspect. He has been pronounced deceased. It's an adult male. Right now, the investigation is still extremely active. Detectives are just getting settled in and beginning their investigation. So we expect to have more details for you later on in the day. But for right now, it's just the bare bones. We really don't know. So it's a court-ordered service. The petitioner, we don't know yet, not yet. But they all can be obtained through the court records. The way the red flag law is, it's pretty much anybody can petition. So it doesn't have to be domestic related. I'm not saying it's not, as honestly.
Okay, there you go. Now, that was one incident that happened in Maryland, I believe, and somebody ended up getting killed. Now, personally, I think this gun law is there, and it's mostly in liberal states, I might add, for just another way for the government to take your Second Amendment right away. Now, it's funny. The left is always talking about how you need to put gun restrictions on to save lives. Well, it's funny. They just passed the bill in New York City where they can kill babies up to the time they're born. So yeah, save lives my ass. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. And let's get here and get on our interview, shall we? Let's bring him in. His name is Eddie, and he actually had this happen to him. So let's see what happens. We're ringing him up right now. how you doing? This is Hollywood. You're on air with us right now on Motorcycle Madhouse.
All right, my man Hollywood.
How you doing, buddy?
Good man.
Thanks, man. Hey, now, you know, I just brought on the topic of this new law that a lot of these states are adopting about, anybody can report somebody and the court just grabs the guns, and without trial or anything, they wait until after the action of the police takes place in order to how can we say it, take your rights away. And this kind of happened to you, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. You walked all over my Second and 14th Amendment rights.
Now, can you describe...
And I could not... I could not get a lawyer to do anything.
Can you describe to the audience what exactly took place, how it went about, everything, the whole 9 yards?
Had a little incident at my home. They come in, took all my weapons. I'm no felon. I have no record. Traffic. And they just wiped me out. Hollywood, they wiped me out, brother.
What did they exactly wipe you out of? I know they took, you were talking about a custom-made AR-15 and some other weapons. What was their reasoning for going ahead and going in there and taking them? And did they have a court order to do so?
The judge told them to take them.
Mm.
It initially started as a fraudulent domestic violence. And my wife recanted, told them it never happened. And they just come in and clean me out, brother. They cleaned me out. It took me 5 years to get them back.
Wow.
I'm missing 4 of them. Naturally, the most expensive ones. Then my AR-15 that I built from the receiver up, the 2-stage trigger and hammer were gone out of them.
Okay, and you haven't got them weapons back after they taken them. And how did you go through to get the weapons back? Because we're trying to figure out the new law that these people put out there. And personally, I think it's just an attempt to go after somebody's Second Amendment rights.
Well, they are. They're walking on the Second Amendment. There is no doubt about it. I had to go through the process. 5 years, they had my weapons before I could get them back.
Mm-hmm.
They finally returned them, but I had to go up and get them.
Well, let me stop you there. What made them give it back to you? You said something about a fraudulent police report.
Right. This judge put me on probation for 5 years for disturbing the peace.
Okay. And now disturbing the peace is now where are you calling from? Where did this happen? Before I ask, what gives them the right, or is it the law there where if you get a disturbing the peace that your weapons are taken away?
I'm calling from Warren, Ohio.
Okay.
And I live in a suburb of Warren. And they pretty much, I have attorneys in Cleveland, and they call it the Good Old Boys Club. Mm-hmm. They pretty much do what they want to do and get away with it.
So it's one of them Barney Five type of towns.
Correct. And now the old police chief is now our county sheriff.
Okay.
So I don't know, Hollywood. It's just one of them things that are just madness. No call. I could see if I was a felon or a criminal, but I'm not.
So you're not a felon. You're not.
20 years
You're not a felon. You're not a criminal. You're a steel mill worker. Which, oh, by the way, much props. My old man used to be a steel mill worker with the union, the whole 9 yards. And here they come in and take your weapons because of a false report, no due process, none of that stuff. They just say, "Hey, you got to turn in your guns."
Absolutely.
Now you also
they didn't even ask. They just took them.
They took them. Now, did they come in on a warrant, or how did they come in?
No, they threw me in jail, and while I was in jail, they come in, went through my house, and took every one of my weapons.
Okay. Now
I had a federal firearms license for 10 years. I still do gun shows. I have a 40-year collection.
So you're also an FFL dealer.
Well, I was.
Mm.
I let it expire.
Right. Now,
because it was just getting too much BS,
Do you think you might have been targeted because you were an FFL dealer?
I don't think so, no.
Mm-hmm. Now,
no.
Did they use this law where people, anybody can file a report on you, and next thing you know, they're running in your house taking your guns?
Correct.
So that's the kind of law they use. Now, you also said earlier when we were talking off air that you tried to talk to the NRA and some other organizations, and how did that all go?
It went nowhere. They gave me the NRA representative for my area. I went down. Another attorney who is now, by the way, a judge. I spoke to him. This was another incident, and he never did anything about it. I did it pro se and got it straightened out.
Okay, so you had to do it pro se. You didn't have a lawyer, any of that type of stuff that helped you out on this case. So this, the case alone, getting the charges dismissed, but then going after your, trying to get your weapons back, which you're missing 4, and, it happens to be the most expensive one. And how much did this all cost?
Oh, I couldn't even begin to estimate, Hollywood. It cost me a lot. Mm-hmm. I used to shoot competition. I've shot in 4 states. I couldn't shoot. I couldn't even possess a firearm.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't protect my family if someone come in.
Right. Yeah.
It was just.
Is that
wrong.
That's disgusting because if you hear it from the left, it's dial 911, they'll come and help your ass. But in the meantime, you're getting shot. Right.
Biggest mistake.
Mm. Now, are you allowed to have a concealed carry permit, any of that type of stuff if you wanted?
I had a concealed carry permit. That disappeared also.
Now
I have to go and retake it, and I have to deal with this sheriff who is the one that confiscated all my weapons. He was our police chief in this township I live in.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's our county sheriff.
Wow.
So what do you think my odds are on getting a concealed carry back?
Right. Now, they probably have something where like in Illinois, I know with the concealed carry, in Illinois is kind of weird. See, I hold a Utah permit. I can carry in many damn states except my own damn state. And that's because I'm not paying $600 for a damn permit here. And, in Illinois law, they have it where the police can object to your concealed carry. Is that the same kind of law you have?
I'm not real sure, Hollywood, because it's been so long since I've had to deal with it. Mm-hmm. I've had traffic stops where I was legal. I told them I had a concealed carry. Are you carrying? Yes. And there was no problem.
Right.
But
you know what? Let me stop you there. I got to give a shout out to my helpers out there, Fat Daddy, Laura, Denise, and everybody on Facebook. You guys are doing a hell of a job. I appreciate you getting the show out there. Love you guys to death. Go ahead, Eddie.
So anyhow, these police are getting out of control. They're murdering people, Hollywood.
Well,
They're cold, flat-out murdering people on camera.
Well, we all know that, you know, within the
Paid administrative leave. That's a vacation.
Well, you know, because, you know,
Vacation.
they're always out there saying, I feared for my life. You know, I don't know how many times I got to hear that I feared for my life crap, and they use that to kill people. You know, you just see videos out there of them shooting people in the back, but they feared for their freaking life.
Well, how about the one they made the kid crawl on the floor to him? He had a pair of boxer shorts on. They were falling down. He went to pull them up, and a cop emptied a AR-15 into him.
Right.
He killed him.
Well, you know,
How about the kid in the car? The kid in the car that complied with everything, had a CCW, had his wheels, hands on the steering wheel. The police asked him for his identification, his insurance. He went to get it. They shot him. They shot him not once or twice. 6 times they shot the kid.
Right.
But he was only complying.
Well, another example of police overreach, and we had this in 2015 within the biker community. It was called Waco, Twin Peaks. Now, these cops knew ahead of time that these clubs might run into each other. Now, normal police departments around the country would, separated them, wouldn't have let it happen, but they let it happen. They let something pop off, and next thing you know, 4 of the 9 the guys that died that day died of police bullets. Now, if that ain't telling you something, I don't know what is.
It's getting sad. I mean, somebody's got to make a stand. It's got to end.
Why don't you think, you know what, why don't you think the NRA is stepping up against these laws? It kind of feels like they're lockstepping with these anti-gun lobbyists.
Of course they are. They're all in bed together. There's too much money there. And you're fighting, who are you fighting, Hollywood? You're fighting endless pockets. They're deep pockets. They have all the lawyers, all the judges. How are you going to win?
Well, I think we're going to win, and this is especially important where not only on the gun issue, but motorcycle rights profiling. We got to start getting active. We cannot, as American citizens, allow for this to happen any longer. We got to stand up. We got to fight back. We got to fight back with our voices at the polls. We got to hold our representatives accountable, because if we don't, it's just going to turn into a dictatorship.
How many people are voting?
Well, that's
how many bikers are voting? Nobody's voting anymore.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
What do they give you to vote for?
Well, the biker.
You have to pick the lesser of the evils.
Well, right, but the biker community as a whole is huge. We got a huge voting block, and we gotta start pulling our resources just like they did in Texas when they voted out that DA and won by 20 points. That shows you the power of the bikers voting block. We gotta get out there. We gotta start using it. People gotta get up and start joining ABATE, start joining MRF, all this type of organizations that fight for us, or it's just going to continue.
We've got to get everybody on the same page. We've got to say enough. Wake up, America. This is still our country. These politicians are bought and paid for all the way down.
Well, yeah, they're bought and paid for on both sides of the aisle. Let's not kid each other.
Who's paying the bill? Who's paying the bill, Hollywood?
Oh, we're all, you know what? We're flipping the bill while they're taking us behind, the alleyway and giving us a good fuck.
Or killing us.
Well, that too. But I just can't imagine, the Second Amendment was specifically put there for the citizens in case the government got out of hand, we'd have a way to fight back. The founders were real clear on that aspect. And, it's funny. I take this back to World War II. And this country was invaded once by a foreign power, and that was by Japan through the islands of Alaska. But they did not move any further in because one of their generals said, we can't freaking attack the mainland. Everybody has a damn gun.
Exactly. And they know that.
Right.
I have a copy of the Constitution right in front of me right now.
Mm-hmm. Now, have you got in touch with
Bill
any...
of Rights, the Second Amendment, what does it say?
Go ahead, read it off. You know what?
Nobody reads it anymore. They don't, this is our protection. Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Well, it can't be, more plainly said than that. But, you have these legal scholars out there trying to twist the words and comma this, comma that, where it's plain and simple. Now, it's funny how, the Second Amendment's being used. Hey, we gotta, we're trying to save lives, blah, blah, blah. Then you got one party voting in, I believe it in New York and Virginia, I think, failed, where they say it's all right to kill a baby all the way up to birth.
Unbelievable where we're going. Where are we going as a country?
Well, where we're...
Most powerful nation in history. They're destroying it.
Well, this kind of reminds me of...
Amendment.
Well, hold on a sec.
All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state or any person of life, liberty, or prosperity without due process of law, nor deny any person within its jurisdiction equal protection of the law.
Well, you were denied due process when the judge said, hey, we've got this report that, you're a danger to the community, so we're going to take your guns and you'll be able to prove it later. Right.
An accusation.
So you're guilty until proven innocent instead of innocent and proven guilty.
Exactly.
And that's pretty sad. And getting back to the country being the greatest there ever is or ever was, yeah, I'm proud of this country. I've had relatives fight for this country, and right now they are rolling over in their grave. And this reminds me of how the Roman Empire fell. Now, we're based on the Roman Empire. We're a federal. We're not, everybody, we're a democratic. No, we're a republic, okay? I'm sorry to tell you that, but we're a republic. And the Roman Empire started to fall once they got away from their core beliefs, started getting outside the norms, and they went all to hell. Right now, we've only been around 200 and something years, and we're already going to hell.
Exactly. And why? Greed.
Well, you got greed, and you got a lot of these, new people, these young kids who don't know how to handle life. Now, I was watching Crowder the other day, and he went to one of these college campuses, and he said, change my mind on why we don't need the wall. And you had a bunch of kids over there saying, well, you're using emotional warfare. You're hurting my feelings, blah, blah, blah. I need a safe corner, whack me off type of shit. That's what's wrong with this country right now is we're getting a bunch of pussies.
You said it. You said it. I was at Kent State. I saw it all from a balcony. I mean... how can they get away with murdering people and get a paid administrative leave?
Well, that and get away with the same old case of, I feared for my life. I cannot stand hearing that I feared for my life shit.
Please.
Right here in Chicago, there was a cop that shot a guy 14 freaking times. 14 times he labeled this guy, and he feared for his life.
Yeah. You can't shoot him in the leg or something and put him down or tase him. How about the female cop that went in the wrong apartment? They never tested her to see if she was drunk or high. Went in the wrong apartment and killed a man in his own home.
Well, yeah, that was down in Texas, wasn't it?
Texas or Arizona.
Right. I think it was Texas.
She killed him.
Yeah.
She murdered that man.
Murdered him, and I feared for my life. Same excuse.
In his own home.
Exactly. So, what happened to you is it sucks. It really does, and I feel for you and stuff like that. I feel for you because you have to do it yourself, because attorneys nowadays, and they're part of this corrupt system where you got to pay them 20 G's or you're shit out of luck. That is not equal justice under the law. When the government labels an accusation against you, you should be able to get competent representation.
I was made an offer by the judge that made this ruling. He called my attorney in and said, look, I'll return his guns, make him whole, if I can keep a quarter of them. Now, I've been collecting 40 years. I've got some high-dollar guns. And my weapons, they're my babies. I clean them all the time. I shoot a lot. But he wanted to keep a quarter of them, not telling me which quarter he wanted to keep. Just a quarter of them he was going to keep.
Mm.
And I asked my attorney, which ones does he want? Because I have some junk that I deal off at shows that I didn't care about. But he couldn't give me a response.
Well, you shouldn't even have been put in that position, because if they're saying, okay, give me a quarter of your guns and you can keep the rest, their argument don't hold water.
No. And this judge is walking all over the Constitution by the simple fact the law reads, the statute reads, that you make a video appointment, a video arraignment. He has 7 to 10 days for you to appear in front of him and him post a reasonable bond. He's throwing guys in the county jail for 15 days before anything happens. Now that's justice.
Yeah, welcome to equal justice out of the law.
Like Richard Pryor said, you go to court for justice and you find just us.
Right, exactly. Now, you're a biker, am I right?
Absolutely.
Now,
I collect and restore vintage bikes.
Now, do you think you being a biker had anything to do the way they treated you?
I would not think so.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been on poker runs and rides with police officers that seem they're not all bad. They've got a tough job. I wouldn't want that job, but there's no reason for them to go overboard like that.
Right, exactly. Well, where are you?
Abuse of power.
Where are you now in regards to your status with the missing weapons?
They're gone. I won't get them. My attorney said if they're not on the inventory list, which they aren't, you ought to see this inventory list. You want to see a joke.
Mm-hmm.
You've got officers making out an inventory list and things are missing. Come on. They don't know which gun is. They can't even name it.
Man.
They'll just put one bolt-action rifle. Hey, asshole, it's a Weatherby.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a $2,500 rifle.
Well,
They're-
they know what it is.
they're
They just got it. They know what it is. They just got it in their collection now.
No, I got it back.
Which ones are you?
got it back.
Which ones are you missing?
I'm missing a Glock, an HK91, a Colt, an old Colt, and the other was a Bursa.
So the high dollar ones, basically.
Well, Glocks aren't cheap.
Right. Exactly.
This vintage Colt ain't cheap.
Mm.
The nickel-plated Colt.
Right. Well, everybody out there, on the Madhouse listening, this is what's going on to people. These are actual people. You'll hear, snippets on the news, but they want to keep this away from you because they don't want it too high public. But Eddie, I really appreciate you coming on the show, telling us your story. We wish you the best of luck. Hopefully, you can get somewhere with this, and hopefully your story, lets people know that this is really happening out there, and the government is starting to ramp it up on our rights as American citizens.
Americans, true Americans, wake up. Wake up.
Exactly. we
no
need to.
longer have a police force. We have an occupying force.
Well, that's the way it's starting to become. Let me tell you, they get hard-ons just being able to dress up in a riot gear and all that good stuff, and bring out their tanks and all that stuff during disturbances and protests. But with that, Eddie, I'm going to let you go and stay in the show. Listen to the rest of it. I'm going to have some callers call in and see if we can discuss this issue some more, get their point of views, and I'll talk to you later, my friend. Thanks for being on the show.
Okay, Hollywood. Thank you, sir.
Talk to you later, Eddie.
America, wake up.
Wake up, man. You got that right. So what do you guys think? 847-957-1656. We're going to start taking a call or two on this subject. Do you think that the government is starting to get out of control? And Eddie was a biker, and he's an American citizen. So we got one of our own out there that is having a tough time, and it really sounds like government overreach. I cannot believe in America you are now guilty until proven innocent. And that's exactly what this gun law is about. So go ahead and call in. Let me know your thoughts. The lines are open. But let me a little bit more about this and County Police thing in Maryland. It's called the Red Flag Law, and it's called Protective Law. And it said, and this is an article that I'm reading from, just hours after a 61-year-old man was shot and killed while officers were trying to serve a court order requiring him to surrender his guns. The chief said the fatal shooting, and you notice he ended up dead, okay? And let me guess, it's probably I fear for my life shit. Said the fatal shooting in Ferndale was a sign that the law, which went into effect October 1st, is needed. Okay, so you're telling me that law is needed because a guy didn't want to give up his Second Amendment rights because he was considered guilty until innocent. He had to give up his firearms until he went to court to prove his innocence off an accusation. Now, that right there is some scary shit, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I can go on my next door neighbor, say, because he's a dick or something, I don't like him, and say, hey, I fear for my life. I think he's crazy. He talks to himself. Next thing you know, the cops can run in and get his guns off of my word with no evidence of the accusation being true. That is not America. Not America. Let's see here. There have been 19 protective orders sought in the county since then, tying Hartford County for the most in Maryland. So you see how it starts adding up. People can just go out there and say, hey, I'm scared. Next thing you know, the cops are getting hard-ons. According to the report of the first month statewide, about half of the 114 orders sought have been granted. So they, over 70-something orders? Quote, if you're looking at this morning's outcome, it's tough for us to say, well, what did we prevent? He said, because we don't know what we prevent or couldn't have prevented what would happen if we didn't go there at 5 a.m. That right there is a big quote. We don't know what we've prevented or couldn't have prevented because there was no evidence, there was no investigation. It was a rush right to take his guns away, and somebody died because of this red flag law. Anyway, we're going to keep on going. I had a freaking text come in there. The two investigating officers who he did not identify Monday, which he didn't identify, did the best they could with the situation they had. Okay, why didn't you just sit back, barricade it off instead of shooting the guy? No, you got trigger happy. That's why the guy died. Said, let's see here. What else we got here? Police identified 2 5-year-old veterans of the force, a corporal and PFC as the officers involved in the shooting. Both were assigned to the Bureau of Patrol and been placed on an administrative leave during the investigation. So there you go again, during administrative leave. Always at administrative leave. They get paid for it. Now, if you or I go out there and shoot somebody, our asses are sitting in freaking jail and hoping for a freaking lawyer to get a freaking, a self-defense freaking thing. They get paid for it. Anyway, let's see. Police said he became irate when officers tried to serve him. Well, of course he's going to get irate. Those are his guns. He's not a felon. There's no proof that he did anything wrong. And yeah, somebody can see it as a government overreach, what this law is. Now, the media, the politicians on both sides of the aisle will tell you, oh, it's for public safety. Well, so is the Patriot Act. Okay? After 2001, when them planes hit them towers in the Pentagon, everybody was scared, and they let the Patriot Act pass. Why? For our security. We gave up so many rights when the Patriot Act passed, it's unreal. These people can listen in on your phone calls, and they do, and they cannot deny it. Snowden, we got a call coming in. You're on air from Georgia.
Hey, it's Joe. I'm listening to this, and you know what? We're getting farther and farther into a police state. We have no control. We have no say over what's going on.
Well, I totally agree with you with the police state. Like I was just saying, with the Patriot Act, if you actually read the Patriot Act, it's some scary shit. These people are acting like it's a police state in the name of security.
Exactly, and that's the thing. And the thing is, this younger generation, they're too stupid and too ignorant to go out and actually research what is actually going on. Instead, they just sit there and go with social media and what the freaking news tells you. The news is so screwed up, it's not even funny.
Oh, I totally agree.
Happen. And the thing is, they're letting... I spent 23 years serving this damn country, and we are letting freaking socialists run this country? What the hell is wrong with that?
Well, you know what? You bring up a good point with the media and these young kids. What was it? A poll was taken where over 40% of the respondents who were millennials and the Z generation, whatever the hell they call it, are in support of socialism. Now, how the hell did that happen in America? Can't they see what's going down in South America and all these other socialist countries? It don't work out too well.
They don't watch that. They don't care. That's a different world. You've got people like Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders saying, oh, that's a different type of socialism. No, it's not. Socialism is socialism. That's
right.
it.
Well, exactly, and it's funny when they bring up National Socialists because, they're idiots. They don't understand that Nazi Germany was a National Socialist kind of country. And
Thank you.
they don't bring that up. And
No,
look what that National
that.
Socialists did during World War II and what we had to fucking fight and how many soldiers we had to have killed, how many civilians got killed to kill that son of a bitch in power in Germany.
You're absolutely correct. That's the sick part about it. These people are too stupid, and this is the thing. They want you to hide history. All this shit with the statues coming down, changing the history books and all that crap, it's so that the reason we have history is so we don't repeat it. Mm-hmm. And these idiots are changing history because that's what they want. They want us to go back to what we didn't want.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. And you know what else is funny? I'm going to bring this up before you're bringing up the Confederate stuff, the statues and shit like that. That pisses me off to high heaven right there. But here you had a governor in Virginia, came out, he had a black face with a KKK standing next to him. And, everybody's telling him resign, resign, resign. But on the other hand, you had Robert Byrd, who was a freaking admitted imperial wizard of the KKK, smooching with Hillary Clinton. What the hell is this?
Yeah, he was her mentor. She said that time and time again, but every time they brought up the fact that he was the Grand Wizard of the KKK, she jumped away from that. She would always divert. That's the number one Democratic thing. Divert from everything that's going to make you look like a freaking idiot.
Right. Well, it's funny when they come out with, you're a racist, you're a racist. I'm sorry to tell you guys, but, it was the Southern Democrats and the Democratic Party that caused the Civil War. Might need a little history lesson right there. My family, fought in my two great-great-grandfathers actually served with the 17th Regiment with the Northern Army of Virginia. And it's funny, in our family, because my father's from West Virginia and we have family on the Virginia side, they still don't talk to each other to this day because of that stupid war. But, if you're going to go out there and talk bullshit, at least, tell the truth.
Exactly. Well, I'm not going to take much of your time, but thank you for letting me call in.
Rock and roll, man. I appreciate you calling in, my man.
Hey, I'm reading your book. I love it.
Thanks, buddy. Hope you like it.
Take care.
All right, bud. And I'll take one more phone call, but this is a subject that really gets me going because people are blind, and these kids, somebody put them over your lap and slap the shit out of them, okay? Because it's not helping them any. It's not helping them prepare for life, coddling them, okay? And now, I know this is about the guns and that gun law, the red flag law and stuff, but I think it goes to a whole entire situation of what this country's facing right now. And if we don't get out there, and this ain't just bikers, we're already dealing with the shit with motorcycle profiling. It's funny, these rubs don't get it. What they're seeing right now is what happened in the late 70s, 80s, and early 90s when you were getting flattened out on the freaking concrete because you were riding a bike. Well, now they're starting to see it, and it's coming hardcore down in Texas, and there's something down there that we're investigating involving billboards, and we'll get back to you on that type of stuff where the gang task force is rumored to be taking out billboard ads against motorcycle clubs trying to, put them as gang members. But that's something we have not verified yet and we're working on right now. So, we'll keep on going with that. But, as bikers, we got a huge community. We got to get involved. Let your voices be heard. If not, you're going to be sitting back on your porch when you're 80 or 90, rocking in that chair with a guard or some shit down the street doing checkpoints because you didn't get involved now. You didn't teach your kids, hey, we're Americans. That socialist, that communist bullshit ain't us. We fought since World War II against the communists. Now, the left, the Democrats, and you know what, I'm not trying to get, left, right, whatever, but this is the truth. The Democrats during the Cold War didn't want to have nothing to do with fighting back against the USSR. They were always scared about something started. Now all of a sudden, for the last 2 years, we've had to hear about this dumb shit about Russia. Okay? And it's funny, everything leads right back to the Hillary campaign, but the propaganda media has people fooled. CNN, MSNBC, what a joke. Anyway, I'm just going to keep going on and on, but before I do, let's, again, if you want to get any of the official merchandise to help the show stay on air, we really appreciate it. You can go to HarleyBikerNews.com. You're going to get t-shirts, books. We're going to have audio. The first season of Motorcycle Madhouse is going to be coming up. This Friday, I will be doing an interview with a Harley Davidson dealership, and it's a real huge dealership here in St. Charles, Illinois, and I'm going to put, their, welcome ad up, and the reason why I'm interviewing them is because this dealership is reaching out to the tech kids in high school and teaching them trades. Now, the trades are something that have been lost on this country. Our kids have been told to believe that you have to go to college when that's not the truth. The trades, that's the way to go. And you know what? This bullshit that you have a college degree to make it is bullshit. But a little quick video, and I'll come right back on, and we'll end up on the show here.
Fox River Harley Davidson provides exceptional service, exceptional sales. The people, the staff are absolutely phenomenal to work with. Great group of people working with the Hog Chapter, create a lot of common ground, and they're great support as well. Fox River Harley Davidson and the Hog Chapter are very well entrenched with Limeade, which is a Lyme awareness that we've been a part of for 4 years now, and we have a tremendous outpouring of support from not only the dealership but the Hog Chapter, and also other supporting Hog Chapters from other dealerships in the Windy City group as well.
I'm a product specialist in the sales department. Here at Fox River, we concentrate on fit and function. We want to make sure that people who come in are comfortable on the motorcycles that they're sitting on, and it's going to be good for what they want to do on it. You just want to bounce around town. You want to go out on that 4 or 5 hour ride on a Saturday afternoon with your friends, and we try to put you on a motorcycle that's going to be right for what you want to do on it. I get asked a lot why I do what I do. When someone comes in and buys a motorcycle, you're in the moment, it's exciting, the adrenaline is flowing, everyone's very, very excited. It's 2 weeks later when that person walks through the door and walks up to my desk and hugs me and tells me, "Thank you, you changed my life." That's why I do what I do.
Our number one priority is customers, whether it's helping them pick out parts to customize their bikes, getting their bike serviced, picking out a new jacket that they need for the new weather coming up. Whatever it is, we like to make sure that our customers are our number one priority. You want to make sure to walk somebody through and make sure they're going to get the exact kit that's going to be the best for them. So whether they're doing a lot of two-up riding or maybe they are taking it to the track, you don't want to get them mixed up, and you want to make sure that you're getting the right guy, the right kit, so he's going to be happiest with his purchase versus someone who thinks they're going to be happy with it, but that's just because they don't really know. And so that's our job, is to help walk them through and make sure that they're getting the best bang for their buck. Satisfied customers are our number one thing. Without our customers, we wouldn't be here as much as I'd like to think, just because of our love for motorcycles. We're going to be here, but it's keeping our customers happy and making new customers, repeat customers, is what allows us to be here still.
So that's going to be this Friday that I'm going to be going to do the interview. The actual interview will be up on next week when we go live. We'll talk about it. It's a great Harley Davidson dealership. It's huge. A lot of bikes in there. It's awesome. It's eye candy that anybody wants to go see. And we'll be asking some of the tough questions as well. What they believe is the issue with Harley Davidson sales, what can be fixed, what the dealerships can do, and all that good stuff. But with that, again, if you guys want to get the merchandise, the link's in the description box below. Thanks for all the super chats, and thanks for tuning in to Motorcycle Madhouse. And shout out to Fat Daddy and all his helpers over at Facebook, and all you guys on YouTube and the other channels. Until then, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching Motorcycle Madhouse Live. We're on Monday through Friday from 7 to 7:30. Check out some of these videos of our archives. Get to know us. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We appreciate all your support. We'll see you next time. Yeah.